American Legion. Birchfield Promotions back in action with a big exciting card coming your way here tonight. All right, we're kicking it off with Zach Salvation and Shay McGrady, and it's almost a 3 count right off the bat. Keep your eyes on your opponent at all times, Shay McGrady. All right, we got collar elbow tie up, and it's Zach Salvation with an arm wringer into a fireman's carry. Takes his man down and clamps on a headlock. We got a big card coming your way here tonight. There's no doubt about it. A lot of big talent on hand here. We got Bobby and his son D.L. Eaton in tag team action. Going to be challenging for the Birchfield Promotions Tag Team Championship. And we got all kind of action coming your way here tonight with Birchfield Promotions. And all right, Zach Salvation has his man grounded in a headlock. Shay McGrady going to try to fire out a couple of punches. Well, forearm shots, I should say. All right, it's an arm drag from Shay McGrady. And Zach Salvation coming up. Sends Shay McGrady for the ride. Misses a lariat, misses another lariat. Got him up. Tried to slam him. McGrady goes into an arm drag. Much to a big surprise here, fans. Shay McGrady really not throwing out the rule book. Thank you. Good. And I'll tell you what, fans, we got a pretty good opening contest here. McGrady backs his man in the corner hesitantly. Close fist. I was going to say hesitantly a clean break, but it's not a clean break. Several punches, a big knife edge chop. All right, Zach Salvation sent for the ride. McGrady walks right into a back body drop. All right, we got a lariat from Zach Salvation. Down goes Shay McGrady. Zach Salvation drop kicks. Shay McGrady here in trouble. All right, McGrady walking into a hip lock takedown. Zach Salvation clamping on the headlock. All right, McGrady is down, and Zach Salvation hanging on to that headlock. All right, Shay McGrady in the headlock. Zach backed in the corner. Salvation a couple of punches. Knife edge chop. All right, McGrady goes into the corner. Drop kick. Drop kick by Zach Salvation. All right, Zach Salvation sending him for the ride. Wait a minute, what have we got? DDT! Got a DDT. And oh, how quickly the tide of the battle turns. The near fall right there, Zach Salvation gets out of it somehow. McGrady has Zach on the ropes, chopping. Zach Salvation and McGrady exchanging blows. McGrady with a drop kick. McGrady now choking Zach Salvation. Got him on that second rope. Zach Salvation coming up. takes a kick right into the midsection. Zach Salvation falls out of the ring. Shoulder block. Sunset flip. Count of 2. All right, we got an eye gouge, and they're going in the corner turnbuckle. McGrady on Zach Salvation.
It's right there behind. There's a woman right behind that woman in the pink right there. Just like take off.
Aerial attack. McGrady is down. See what Zach's going to do. He's going to hoist him up. Wait a minute. McGrady lands on his feet. They say McGrady a drop kick. And I'm sorry, I got the camera a little bit out of position there. These guys are all over the ring. All right, McGrady going up to the top. Let's see what he's going to do. Big elbow. He said, that's it. I don't know about that. Count of 2. It's only 2. Somehow, Zach Salvation shows a lot of recuperative powers. Or I guess I should say recuperative powers. All right, McGrady getting knocked into the ropes. McGrady on the run. McGrady trying for a flying body press. Zach puts him on his shoulders. Wait a minute. Seems like I've seen that before somewhere. All right, a reverse front face lock. Wait a minute. Zach Salvation reverses. Could set him up for Oklahoma Stampede. No, Zach goes right in the corner turnbuckle. McGrady twists and turns like a neckbreaker type maneuver. Shay McGrady. McGrady wins our opening matchup, man. All right, Zach Salvation, brand new to Birchfield Promotions, but he just can't quite get that elusive victory. All right, fans, Shay McGrady, the winner. Zach Salvation still feeling the effects in the ring. He put up a game effort, but he lost it. Fans, we got more action in a second. All right, fans, we're ready for match number 2 here. Birchfield Promotions. And, of course, joining me in the broadcast booth tonight is none other than the fabulous Playboy, Buddy Rose Jr. And, Buddy, what a great night so far.
Well, I tell you what, it's already action personified here, and let me tell you, this Phil Shatter is the first time not only here at Birchfield Promotions. This is my first time seeing him. Tommy Gibson, you know, I've seen him all over the Virginias and all over the Carolinas. You know, let's see what this Phil Shatter's got. We do know one thing: he's not afraid to go into the gym.
That's right. This Phil Shatter is a massive man. He's a mountain of a man, if you will. And Tommy Gibson is quite game. You know, we see him in a lot of matches where he'll take on any and all challenges. But he's going to have to use his knowledge, his resourcefulness against the bulk and the power of Phil Shatter.
Well, obviously, Tommy Gibson's going to have to use his brains because the muscle's just not going to get it here. You know, Tommy Gibson's no slouch, but at the same time, you put him up against a guy with the size of Phil Shatter, you know, he's got to work smarter, not harder.
All righty. Well, you don't want to meet him. You don't want to meet him head on in the power department. That's for sure.
I don't want to meet him head on in any department. You know, the clothing department, the men's department, the girls department. I don't want to meet him in any department. You know, it doesn't matter. This guy's got some strength. You know, this isn't somebody that you want to mess with. But Tommy Gibson getting a thumb into that eye, that'll stop you every time.
All right, Gibson has his man. All right, backdrop coming up. Gibson hit that corner turnbuckle hard, and uh-oh, we got a military press coming up. And a big slam.
Military press coming up and coming down. Phil Shatter going into the corner, throws Tommy Gibson into the corner, big hip toss. Tommy Gibson taking the high road, asking for that timeout.
I'll tell you what, this guy might need to want to go out, get his second win, to try to recuperate, but he's not going to win the match by laying on the floor.
Well, you can't win it on the outside of the ring, but you can live to fight another day. You know, Tommy Gibson taking his time, but you know, this might be smart on his part. He might be slowing things down to his pace. He's bringing Phil Shatter down to his speed. That might be it might be some of the psychology games that Tommy Gibson's playing here tonight.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, buddy, in the experience department, it's got to go in favor of Tommy Gibson. Tommy Gibson with a kick in the midsection, unloads with a couple of fists. Shatter taking some punishment. It's a lariat from Gibson.
And let me tell you, you know, Tommy Gibson's no slouch. He's faced a lot of stars in his day. He's been in the ring against the Barbarian. He's been in the ring against beautiful Bobby Eaton, who just happens to be here tonight. He's been the tag team partner of Ricky Morton on occasion in the state up in the Virginias. You know, big boot to the mouth, that'll stop you in a heartbeat.
Well, it was kind of like a drop kick, but he didn't leave the ground. What's he got him set up for? Big slam. Phil Shatter moves very well for a big man, and it's a knee drop.
That quite possibly could have been a third count. Had referee Arthur been in position there, that could have been a possible 3 count. Looked like a possible low blow there. Tommy Gibson saying no, that it was in the stomach. You know, I've seen Phil Shatter. His stomach don't hang down quite that low.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Playboy. It was a very, very questionable blow where it landed. Whether it was low or not, I'm not sure, but he's got Phil Shatter in trouble.
Well, you can call it questionable. I'm not going to question it. You know, referee's in there. It's his job. It's his job to see what's going on. If he doesn't see it, you know, he'll have to sit down and watch his tapes and have to see where he's making his mistakes. He's got to learn from his mistakes. You know, right now he should be getting down in there and Phil Shatter's face and asking him if he wants to give it up. Tommy Gibson got pressure on that knee, you know, but this is where Tommy Gibson is in his playing field. He's got the big man off of his vertical base. He's got him laying down on the canvas. You know, this is what Tommy Gibson needs. If he immobilizes him, Phil Shatter's, you know, just as strong as that guardrail.
That's right. He's taking a wheel away from Phil Shatter, and he misses a lariat. Oh, Phil Shatter with a lariat. So much more mass with his lariat, and now this big man's getting ready to go to the top.
He's going for that high-risk maneuver here, Dan. You know, I'd be careful with that knee. What an elbow drop! That could be it. That could be it.
And that was shades of Bobby Eaton indeed.
Shades of everybody, man. You know, Bobby Eaton, you know, Shay McGrady was out here. He's a flyer. You know, Phil Shatter's flying like a lightweight out here. What an impressive elbow drop.
I don't know if it would be fair to compare a man in his youth like Shay to a veteran like Bobby Eaton, though. But I get the point anyway, nonetheless. All right, Gibson on the mat, and let's see what Phil Shatter's going to do. A release slam.
Phil Shatter got all that. We possibly got a 3 count here. Referee sees that foot on the rope. Just a 2 count. Tommy Gibson know where he's at all times. Phil Shatter showing a little aggressiveness here. You know, he may be a little frustrated. Tommy Gibson comes back with an elbow to the mouth there.
And Phil Shatter just took a bullseye target elbow smash. That elbow from Gibson was right on point. And Phil Shatter in a world of trouble. Powers out.
Yo, Tommy Gibson himself knows that he's got to do a little more than that to beat Phil Shatter here. Camel clutch applied here. It looks like he's sitting back on it. He's got all of it.
With a handful of tights, too, I might add.
Handful of tights. It looks like he's possibly choking him out. The referee needs to get in there. He's got that wrist. He's got that forearm up underneath the chin here.
Almost like a chokehold. But Phil Shatter now trying to get to his knees. Gibson relinquishes the hold and goes to stomping away on Phil Shatter. Phil Shatter in a little bit of trouble here. Sent for the ride. Hits the far corner turnbuckle. We got a big splash from Tommy Gibson. Shatter slumps down. Headbutt. Tommy Gibson with a very low blow. Phil Shatter in a world of trouble. Blatantly an infraction of the rules from Gibson. Spine buster. Count of 2. And the effects of the battle are really showing on Phil Shatter. Phil Shatter trying to, let's see what he's going to do. It looks like he's going to go to the air again. He gambled with this earlier and it hit.
He gambled this time and he come up with snake eyes.
Not always does it pay off. It doesn't always pay off.
Oh, Phil Shatter throws Tommy Gibson back into the ring there. Action's so exciting, even our security guards are getting into this.
What's Phil Shatter going to do? He's setting him up. A power bomb. And that'll do it. Phil Shatter impressively disposes of Tommy Gibson. And Tommy Gibson gave him a fight, but it wasn't enough fight to get the win, that's for sure. All right, fans, Phil Shatter impressively debuts here in Birchfield Promotions. We got action, more action, and more action headed your way. All right, fans, we've got tag team action coming your way right here. And it is scheduled with George South Jr. tag teaming up with Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. taking on the tag team of Chris Guerrero and Jake Manning. All right, looks like George Jr. is taking a page out of his dad's book, but we are officially only 30 seconds into getting the shirt off. But there for a minute, I thought he was getting ready to start an old George South trait. I wasn't sure. I didn't know what to think. I thought, well, he's getting ready to pull a page right out of his book. All right, Guerrero is going to be restrained a little bit. A referee, Bart Smith. And Guerrero is bouncing around. Guerrero's ready for action. He's ready for all kind of action right here. And fans, I do want to say that the Guerreros that appear here in the Carolinas, Rob and Chris Guerrero, not related to the Eddie Guerrero family or Chavo Guerrero Sr. or anything like that. Guerrero commonly a last name in Mexico, much like Smith would be here in the United States. I mean, if you don't believe me, ask Bart Smith, our referee. All right, the official, Bart Smith, getting ready to say, let's do this thing. And Guerrero and South circle each other and ready to go. All right, Chris Guerrero with a headlock on to George South Jr. And South launches him off. Guerrero with a tackle. Guerrero coming off the ropes, up and over his man. George South Jr. with a leapfrog. And South with a hip toss. South now with a tackle. And South goes up and over, and Guerrero with a leapfrog. Guerrero sends him up with a hip toss and a body slam to follow it up. And it's a deep arm drag. And George South Jr. has been turned upside down. And Jake Manning's going to tag in. Jake Manning with an elbow smash and an arm wringer. And South all of a sudden slows the tide of the battle down by throwing out the rule book. South missing a few wild punches. Jake Manning with a cross-body block, count of 2. Arm drag by Jake Manning. And George South Jr. perplexed, mouthing off at the crowd. He better worry about how to turn the match around and not the old lady in the front row. All right, Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. comes in onto Jake Manning. All right, Jake Manning with a kick, and it stops Funk short. Jake Manning goes up and over him with a leapfrog type move. Tries to roll him up. He can't quite get him. All right, we've got an arm drag. And Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. has been grounded. And Jake Manning has things going his way. Looks like the Manning Guerrero team has pretty much got the Funk South combination that had a lot of problems. All right, Guerrero tags in. Guerrero with a shot. With a shot on the arm and winds it up. Arm wringer. And Funk is down on one knee. Guerrero gonna wind him up again. Single leg pickup. Guerrero kicks him off. Guerrero with an arm drag. Funk is on the mat. Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. having some trouble here. All right, Guerrero going to be backed up in that corner turnbuckle. Funk with a forearm shot and a over the back shot with a forearm. Guerrero leaps over his man, arm drag. All right, Guerrero has Funk on the mat. Manning tags in. Jake Manning coming off the ropes with a double axe handle. Well, they're seeming to be picking apart the arm of Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. And fans, there's an old strategy. You pick out a body part, whether it be 2 arms, 2 legs, or the head, or even any part of the body. You get on it, you wear it down, you wear it down. You take that point of attack away, and that's how you win your matches. All right, Funk in trouble. And really, that's what Jake Manning and Chris Guerrero are doing at this point in time. They're picking apart a weakness and capitalize. All right, Jake Manning clamps on that arm bar. Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. is going to have to figure out how to shortcut or how to counteract this offensive, or else he's going to have to tag out and come in and start over fresh. Something's going to have to happen here. All right, Funk has Manning. All right, Manning going to be sent for the ride. Leapfrogs this man. Big flying tackle. Flying head scissors. Jake Manning with a big flying head scissors. Tell you what, the way he executed that put me in the mind of a young man who is no longer with us, Flying Brian Pillman. Popularized that move in the 1990s. All right, and South tags into Funk, and it looks like finally South and Funk are getting things going their way. Referee Bart Smith with an eye on the action. Guerrero with an arm drag. All right, and South is managing to get his way to his feet. South moves in a fireman's carry. Top wrist lock on the mat. Guerrero rolls up, turns it into a hammer lock. Good mat wrestling. Very, very good mat wrestling. That's impressive right there. Not fancy, but it's knowing your homework. Guerrero with an elbow smash. Guerrero with an arm drag. And quickly the tide is turned. As South and Funk had things going their way, and all of a sudden now it's back in the favor of Guerrero and Manning. All right, Guerrero on the ropes. And he missed time to drop kick. He missed time to drop kick. Might have eagerly anticipated a little too soon. And South with a knee drop. South with a knee drop. It looks like Guerrero having some trouble here. All right, we got a tag. And here's Funk. He's on the rope. Double axe handle right on the arm of Guerrero. Funk with a top wrist lock. And Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. has Chris Guerrero in some trouble here. Guerrero on the mat on one knee. See if he can't fight his way up and out with that top wrist lock. That's a handful of hair. It's a very old trick in the book, but it worked. Funk pulled his hair and he threw him down. All right, Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. with his suplex. All right, we got a tag. George South Jr. comes in. Guerrero in trouble. Guerrero in the corner taking a pretty bad pounding. And now the battle goes back into favor of Funk and South. It looks like there's a chokehold. And Jake Manning coming in to protest. Referee tells him to get out of there. In the meantime, I wasn't sure, but it looked like these guys switched out without a tag. I almost think there wasn't a tag. And it happened real fast. I couldn't quite determine whether or not that was the case or not. All right, South with a stunner. With a stunner. I really thought he was going for like a neck breaker. All right, and Guerrero to his feet with a couple of elbow smashes. Guerrero tags Manning. Wait a minute, referee Bart Smith did not see the tag. Bart Smith did not see the tag. So he's going to tell Jake Manning to get out of the ring. Fans, in the meantime, it's Funk who has switched with Sal. I did catch it this time. There was no tag at that point. Referee can only see what he's can only catch so much of the action. And I guess if you ask George South Sr., who is here in attendance tonight, but not Northern Light suplex, count of 2. If you ask George South Sr., he'd probably tell you, well, you're only really cheating if you get caught. I really don't know about, well, I wouldn't agree with that. All right, South with an elbow smash. South with an elbow smash, and Guerrero's on the mat. Guerrero in all kind of trouble here. All right, what do we got? Funk with a chin lock. Bart Smith speculates on a tag. I think they switched again. All right, Guerrero's got to fight up and fight out. See what Guerrero can do. Elbow smash, couple into the midsection. Funk missing a lariat. Guerrero with a belly-to-back suplex. Got a tag. Jake Manning. Wait a minute, the referee, he didn't catch his tag either. He's going to tell Jake Manning to get out of there. Chris Guerrero. Guerrero's not going to be able to hold up. Fancy. South with a drop kick. He's not going to be able to hold up at this rate. There's no way. Guerrero's taking too much punishment. Well, Jake Manning really chewing Bart Smith out. And now we got double teaming going on as Jake Manning and Bart Smith have words. Funk takes his sweet time with a body slam. He misses a splash. He missed a splash. Funk in trouble here. Guerrero tags. Jake Manning with a punch. Down goes South. Drop kick by Jake Manning. Another drop kick by Jake Manning. Jake Manning cleaning house. A one-man wrecking crew. He's got Funk and South on the run. Action is so fast. So fast it's hard to keep up with it. Wait a minute, sunset flip being blocked. They collide. And Jake Manning and Chris Guerrero get the win. Jake Manning, Chris Guerrero defeat George South Jr., Jimmy Jack Funk Jr. About a 15-minute long matchup. for Guerrero and Manning. All right, fans, we got a triple threat match coming up right here. It's Jason Jones with a flying shoulder tackle taking on Riddleman and Travis Blackwelder. Looks like it's a triple threat match. And down goes Riddleman. All right, hip toss from Jason Jones. Blackwelder going to go outside, check on Riddleman. This ain't a handicap match. They're going to find that out shortly. No teams here. One winner, one loser. All right, Jason Jones got Blackwelder in the corner. Jason Jones going to send him for the ride. Big drop kick. Riddleman caught sleeping on the outside. He wasn't careful, fans. Could have ended right there. All right. Riddleman and Blackwelder have a conference on the floor. Looks like they're going to come in from either side on to Jason Jones, who could be in trouble. I'm just actually wondering how long will this alliance last between Blackwelder and Riddleman. Double team. And Jason Jones taking a pretty good beating here. They got Jason Jones in the corner here. Jason Jones with a chop, couple of chops. Riddleman with an eye gouge. Chopping. Blackwelder from behind on Jason Jones. Wait a minute, Jason Jones just powers Riddleman down. Blackwelder interfering. All right, Riddleman with some knees in the stomach. All right, Blackwelder now with a shoulder block of his own. Sorry about that, fans. We're in another blind corner there. There's no good, really no good place to sit here with the camera here in the American Legion, but trying to bring you the best action we can. All right, Blackwelder choking Jason Jones. Riddleman starting to break up the fall there. All right, now it looks like Blackwelder and Riddleman might be at a little bit of odds over the pinfall. Like I say, fans, it's one fall, a triple threat match. Riddleman and Blackwelder about to go at it. Wait a minute, Jason Jones going to have a headbutt with both of these guys. There you go. Now Riddleman and Blackwelder definitely not getting along. Jason Jones with a big body slam, fist drop. Blackwelder to kick Jones. Blackwelder attempting a suplex. Jason Jones executes a suplex. Riddleman with a kick into the midsection. Jason Jones in a little bit of trouble here. Riddleman with a lariat. It's only a count of two there. Riddleman and Blackwelder seem to be having some sort of words. Jason Jones kicks Blackwelder off. Riddleman with a kick. All right, we got a double team going on here, or getting ready to be. Yeah, there they are. They're moving in on position. And Jason Jones, he is of late called himself the Warrior. Was a big fan of the Road Warriors growing up. Sunset flip attempt. Blackwelder punches Riddleman. Riddleman goes down and Blackwelder breaks up the fall. I'll tell you the truth, fans, this is about confusing at times because one time a guy has a fall, another man breaks it up constantly. It's almost a race to see who could score the pinfall. All right, Riddleman going to set him up for maybe a pedigree, and it's not going to happen. It didn't happen. All right, Blackwelder interfering. Jason Jones with a DDT. And DDT's Riddleman. I'll be honest with you, that ought to do it. Both of these guys are pretty well dead on their face. I mean, I think Blackwelder's fighting on instinct. Wait a minute, Riddleman's telling him to get the kendo stick. And he's going to get the kendo stick. Down goes Riddleman. Very mistimed here. Wait a minute, what's Jason Jones going to set him up for a heart punch? There, he just got him. That'll do it. That will do it, fans. Jason Jones wins that triple threat match. Jason Jones, fans, the winner. Riddleman and Blackwelder's plans backfired. Riddleman and Jason Jones about to duke it out outside. They did a little bit. All right, fans, we got more action coming at you in just a little bit. Fans, we got another big matchup coming your way here. Deion Johnson one-on-one with Boomer Payne.
Yeah, and you know, you can't forget about the loudmouth, gentleman James McCone. I swear he's going to have a stroke or an aneurysm out here. I mean, he's going after everybody from our timekeeper to our ring announcer. You know, he'll be chasing after kids here in a minute.
This guy's never satisfied. He's never happy.
Well, the one thing he's probably happy with is a buffet down the street. I've seen him with that quite a bit.
I'll tell you another thing he wasn't happy about was when he had to go down here to the local Belks and buy a bigger sport coat because the other one he had didn't fit.
Well, that was made by Omar the tent maker. Omar the tent maker made that. But you know, I've instructed the referees here at Birchfield Promotions that if James McComb consistently sticks his nose in here, to get him out of here. We want fair competition here. That's what we want. And if James McCone is going to constantly stick his nose in, James McCone's going to be sitting in the back watching this thing on the monitor in his locker room. By the way, let's talk a little bit about September coming up. I understand
that's scheduled in the month of September. Already a few matches have been signed. Understand that Riddleman will be battling Phil Shatter. Shay McGrady to do battle with Zach Salvation in a rematch. Greg Valentine returns to Birchfield Promotions. And one man I understand that you have been in serious negotiations with. We don't know if he'll be back in September, but he'll be back in the physical year of 2006. A young man who is still a young man, I might add, been in very much demand here lately, is high-flying Chris Hamrick.
Well, you know, Dan, I'd like to comment on that, but, you know, I have been in negotiations with Chris, but I can't tell you what those negotiations are. I can't tell you when he's making a return, if he's making a return. Yeah, he's got a lot of things on his plate. He has told me he wants to come back. I was on the phone with Greg Hammer Valentine just a little while ago when I got ready to make this announcement, and he said he wanted to talk to me about something. He said that he was contacted by somebody, and he wouldn't tell me who it was or what it was or anything like that. What he did tell me was that he will be here next month, and he's got a huge announcement. You know, I don't know what it is. All I know is he wants to have a talk with me, and then he wants to make that announcement on September the 8th.
All right, Greg the Hammer Valentine returning to Birchfield Promotions. And it's Boomer Payne, the headlock and a tackle. All right, Boomer Payne and Deion Johnson had an encounter in last month's Battle Royal that resulted in this matchup here, and also Brad Thomas winning that thing to get a crack at newly crowned heavyweight champion Sonny Landale later tonight.
Well, you know, you got to remember, it was Boomer Payne that cost Deion Johnson that heavyweight title. You know, that's what Deion Johnson come to me, and he said, you know, I'm not worried about my title rematch right now. I'll get that down the road, but what I do want is that piece of garbage, Boomer Payne, and I want James McCone. He said, I want him to come out here to the ring. I want to chew on him like a big old bones, the way he put it.
It sounds like my good friend, the big dog, Deion Johnson, talking indeed. I'll tell you one thing for sure. Deion Johnson doesn't run from any kind of problems, that's for sure. He doesn't run from competition. Boomer Payne is someone you can't take lightly. That's for sure. He's held regional titles throughout the Southeast. He's been very successful, and since coming into Birchfield Promotions, has made a pretty big impact here.
Well, you know, Boomer's no slouch. Boomer is very smart. He times things just perfectly. You know, like these elbows, he knows what Deion Johnson's going for. He knows that Deion Johnson going to go for that elbow. Boomer is not a dumb man. Boomer has held titles everywhere from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, through the Virginias, through the Carolinas. You know, and to have James McCone out there as a distraction, you know, a lot of people say James McCone's not a smart man. Whether you like him or not, you know, he's in the right place at the right time, and that's what wins titles.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not a question of whether McCone is a smart man or not. It's a question that McCone actually, he usually does get the champions in his stable, but how he does it is a subject matter of altogether conversation for another time. McCone, he'll do whatever it takes to get his man to win, and that's all that matters to him.
Well, his motto is, if you can't beat him and cheat him, win at all costs. You know, that's his motto. You know, I've got a good friend at Eagle 92.9 in Florence, South Carolina, by the name of Ed Palmer, that him and I have talked about this many a time. You know, and you can catch him on the live drive at 5 on Eagle 92.9. Deion Johnson with double elbows there. Gets himself, oh, look out! Watch out, I think the radio just skipped. You know, that wasn't an earthquake, folks. That was James McCone falling to his butt.
Headbutt.
Double headbutt. James McCone and Boomer Payne, a meeting of the minds right there. Somebody help James McCone up. He gonna roll around, weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
And by the way, I might add, what a classy individual it is to wear white socks with dress clothes.
Well, you know, he spared no expense on that outfit. You know, $5 at the thrift store, and he was out of there. But, you know, back to my friend Ed Palmer. Him and I have talked about this many occasions. You know, on the Live Drive at 5, every Friday you hear me do my report, whether it be on TNA, whether it be on Birchfield Promotions, WWE, ECW, wherever it is. What we're talking about, one thing that we always talk about as managers, how smart some of them are. You know, they get their men title matches. Not only do they get their men title matches, but they help their men win titles. Yeah, it's not right. It's not the way to do business. But unfortunately, that's just the nature of the beast.
It's been around for quite some time. It certainly has. In fact, as far as I can tell you, and a lot of people don't, want to keep up or acknowledge the history of the sport, but probably one of the first managers in the business was a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion by the name of Ed the Strangler Lewis.
Exactly. Then you got guys like Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Then you come on down the list, the Grand Wizard of Wrestling, Classy Freddie Blassie, Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart, Slick, Captain Louis Albano, managed 19 World Tag Team titles, 16 tag teams to 19 World Tag Team titles. But listen to the crowd here. They were wanting Dion Johnson to break Boomer Payne's arm off and beat him with it.
I'll tell you what, McCone kind of puts you in the mind of a young Captain Louis Albano in a way, in the fact that he is very unscrupulous. He's almost, no matter what I take, and if I have to get in there and fight myself, sometimes I'll do it. McCone will do that. If put in that kind of situation, he won't run.
Yeah, he does remind me of a young Captain Louis Albano, except he's about 10 pounds heavier and his shorts and rubber bands.
Well, and no goatee or rubber bands or wild-looking shirts. He just has the...
But he sure does have some wild-looking socks. Look at Dion Johnson biting right in front of the referee. I think he was cleaning out his teeth.
Well, I'll tell you what, McCone, say what you will about him, no matter what, but he always seems to be on top of things.
Boomer Payne got a thumb to the eye. Now they low kick to the midsection there. We're going to call it the midsection, whether that's where it was or not. Boomer Payne, this is where James McCone does his most damage.
All right, and McCone outside on the floor, and he assaults Dion Johnson, and Johnson's on the floor in a world of trouble, and McCone once again attacking. Referee's got to keep his eyes open, but he's tied up with Boomer Payne.
Referee turned around, but referee didn't quite catch James McCone there. I think he was jaw-jacking with Boomer Payne. Now he's questioning, did you choke him? Of course he choked him. Do you think James McCone's going to tell you the truth? He's never told the truth a day in his life.
Well, that's kind of an ignorant question. Do you think the guy would admit it?
Yeah, what's he going to do? And I've managed many people. Well, yeah, how many times did you ever hear me look up at a referee and say, yeah, I did it. What are you going to do about it? I never did that. Of course I denied it. James McCone back to his dirty ways here.
And I'll tell you what, Playboy, I know for a fact that it took some doing to get you out of the managerial roles, to get you into the front office of Birchfield Promotions. And to be quite honest with you, when I first heard of the decision, almost kind of a panic hit me, but I've got to give you credit and all the credit in the world. So far, you have been, despite your past, a very fair individual.
Well, I'm paid to do a job, and that's the job I'm doing. I'm not managing anybody. I'm here to be a commissioner. I'm here to make decisions. I'm here to make executive decisions. I'm here to make matches. I'm here for when a guy says, hey, I don't think I got a fair shake at the stick. I don't think I want a chance to climb the tree. I want a chance to climb that mountain. I'm the man they come to and say, hey, what can we do to get it done? And I'll get it done for them.
Referee and Boomer Payne having problems, but McCone, on the other hand, attacks Johnson.
The one thing is, Boomer Payne may have been running his mouth to the referee, but the referee should have never stuck his hands on Boomer Payne. Unfortunately, the referee does call this match. It's his job to catch James McCone, not mine to tell him that James McCone's doing something. However, I think Bart has just levied himself a $5,000 fine for touching a wrestler.
Well, it's going to take Bart quite some time to pay that, but nonetheless, It's a situation. Let's address this for a second. Wait a minute. McCone on the outside throws Deion Johnson right in the rail. McCone, somebody's got to stop James McCone. I mean, that's all there is to it. But yeah, let's get back to the situation with the official. You don't attack official, and official don't attack you.
Right. Boomer Payne did not touch the official, but the official did touch him in the middle of the match. If Boomer Payne would have lost this match, that's all I would have heard for 6 months if it was a referee's fault. But as far as James McCone's concerned, I've told all these referees, if James McCone sticks his nose in, get him the heck out of here.
All right, Boomer Payne and Johnson going at it. Johnson in the corner turnbuckle. Nobody home. Wait a minute. We don't want no comment about that.
I don't even want to call it. What would you even call that?
Very vulgar sight.
Body slam, that's what I'm going to call that.
Going for the moonsault, I would think. Let's see what he's going to do. He's up. He hit it. Wait a minute, McCone interfered, he put his foot on the bottom rope.
Dan, you got a better vantage point than I've got. I couldn't quite see. Did James McCone reach over and grab that foot, or did Boomer Payne get that foot up there?
He put his foot on the rope, and wait a minute, the dog is chasing McCone. He's in pursuit.
What just happened here?
He got him in the ring. He's got him in there. Wait a minute, Boomer Payne's got something in his hand.
Referee, wait. I didn't quite see what happened there. James McCone had the referee's attention.
That's a few things you didn't quite see, but nonetheless.
It was pandemonium, it kind of broke down there at the back. Let's go get the ring official's official word here.
All right, Boomer Payne with an assist from McCone gets the win. And not only that, a foreign object also aiding Boomer Payne to a win over Deion Johnson. And as you take a look, fans, before we pause this thing, take a look at Deion Johnson. Out cold. Out cold. You don't get knocked out with a closed fist unless you've been hit by Mike Tyson. So it's quite obvious there. Wait a minute, Bart Smith. Bart Smith going to check over Boomer Payne. He didn't find anything.
You get when you got here tonight.
Fans, we're scheduled for tag team action right here coming at you. And it will be Bobby Eaton and his son Dylan Eaton to make a challenge for the current tag team champions. And that being Rex Rumble and Kid Chaos, recently taking the tag team titles. It was last month here in Lancaster, South Carolina for Birchfield Promotions. And fans joining me right now in the broadcast booth, Donnie Birchfield. Donnie, I appreciate you stopping in.
Dan, thank you. It's a pleasure to get a chance to come over and talk to you tonight. You do a fine job taping everything for us, and we really appreciate your support. This ought to be a good match. You know, Bobby Eaton, one of the best tag team wrestlers of all time, and, with his son, so he's learning from the best.
Well, that's right. You know, last month we were here, and Riddleman and Bobby Eaton took on this Rumble Time for the first time, and it was for the tag team titles. It was pretty much like a tournament final situation. Rumble Time come out the win, and Bobby Eaton, his son had just started wrestling this past year and is getting a ton of experience. He's still in the learning process, but who else would you rather learn from other than Bobby Eaton?
That's exactly right. I mean, the only thing missing is Jim Cornette at ringside. And, Bobby, like I said, is one of the best tag team members that you will ever find. And looks like Dylan is following in the right path.
That's right. We got a neck breaker, and Rumble all of a sudden deposits him off. And, Rumble Time has put the belts on the line plenty of times here. But they have really got their work cut out. All right, a hip toss. It's a lariat. All right, Rumble Time getting things going their way. And Dylan Eaton, boy, what a way to be introduced into the world of professional wrestling here in a situation like this.
That's exactly right. Like I said, Dylan is learning from the best, but he has really stepped up to the big time tonight. And, this match could go either way.
That's right. The fabulous Playboy has a few comments to add to this situation here.
Yeah, it's not that he's being introduced tonight. He might be being introduced to Rumble Time tonight, but you got to remember this kid grew up in this business. His father is beautiful Bobby Eaton from the Midnight Express. I don't need to go through this man's credentials, but I will if you want me to. Bobby Eaton last month had Riddleman as a tag team partner, and he figured he couldn't trust anybody more than family, so he went and got his son Dylan Eaton.
Well, I mean, let's face it, this guy had a choice. He could go get his son, or he could call Dennis Condrey or Stan Lane. I mean, those are the options.
Well, he could just as well brought in Dennis Condrey or Stan Lane. He could have brought in Jim Cornette for all that matter. It doesn't matter. But, he wanted to give his son a chance, and this is the way to give him a chance. Become a tag team partner. Show him the way. Show him the light. Show him what it takes to be a winner. Show him what it takes to be a tag team champion.
All right, a tackle, and let's clarify something with that tackle. That wasn't the bulk. That was the quickness that took Bobby Eaton down. He come off those ropes real fast.
Yeah, speed counts just as much as bulk around here. It's obvious Kid Chaos doesn't have the bulk to knock down a Bobby Eaton, but that kind of speed, it took Bobby Eaton by surprise and knocked him off his feet.
Well, I tell you what, Kid Chaos needs to go on the James McCone diet, that's for sure. And if he did, this cat might wind up with a big contract in maybe WWE developmental system.
Yeah, he's definitely a high flyer, and they are a superb team. And but like I say, I would hate to bet the farm on either team on this one, because I mean this would with Bobby Eaton, you just never count him out. I'm sure he's seen about every kind of match. We were discussing earlier the scaffold match that they done many years ago, and Bobby's not scared to get in the ring and any kind of match, any night, it doesn't matter.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not positive that I may be right, but I will say sometimes in the mid-'70s that Bobby Eaton was a part of the very first scaffold match in Memphis, Tennessee, and he was against Bill Dundee. That's a long time ago.
Yeah, I believe you're exactly right. I mean, that's been many moons ago. But, he's still moving right along. And here you see Kid Chaos, jawing a little bit with the referee. And, that's if he loses his composure, that's not a good sign. I mean, because the referee, he's not going to get any points with the referee.
And by the way, this referee, let's bring up who this guy is. This guy used to compete in the ring a few times. I mean, he's been around a little bit. And if you decide you want to fight with this fella, you're barking up the wrong tree, and that is Red Dog.
It's funny. It's funny that you said barking up a tree when you got the Red Dog in there. Red Dog making a return to the world of professional wrestling, this time as an official. But who better to get in there as a referee than a wrestler? Somebody that not only knows the rules, but knows how to break them as well.
Well, I tell you what, if somebody ever tried to get out of hand and shove him around, and the Red Dog, I guarantee you, would go into fighting mode.
Yeah, and I've seen the Red Dog do it. A former tag team partner of mine.
All right, Rumble time. Putting Dylan Eaton into some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely seeing some big-time moves. But Dylan is hanging in there. I mean, Rumble Time is a highly trained team and making some smooth tags. But like I said, I don't believe this referee is one to push around.
That's right. All right, drop kick. And down goes Dylan Eaton. Bobby Eaton comes in and breaks it up. And it looks like father and son have got to get things going their way. All right, Bobby Eaton comes in. I don't think he tagged. But, he's going to lure Rex Rumble in. But just by coming in immediately, boy, he's all of a sudden got things really going his way. And take a look, Bobby Eaton barking commands at his son, and he's telling him, you've got to start punching and kicking and doing what I tell you to do.
And that's exactly what he's doing, too. He's turned him into a house of fire here, Bobby Eaton come in and broke that up. He took control, being the ring general that he is. That could have backfired on Dylan Eaton there. Shot a man into his own corner. Rex Rumble just happened to not be paying attention. He could have made the tag to his little brother there and got him out of this predicament. But Rex Rumble might be asleep at the wheel here.
He could very well be. I mean, could be caught sleeping. I mean, all right, Dylan Eaton now with an overhand top wrist lock. Handful of hair takes him down. The one thing I've noticed, even though Dylan Eaton has a lot of talent, the one thing I do notice that he just doesn't quite yet, and maybe in time he will have the mean streak that his dad had.
Yeah, I think, right now the biggest thing, he's lacking that killer instinct, that Bobby possesses. But like I said, being on the road with him, and, who better to learn from, Dan?
Well, I think so far we see him at times very tentatively, hesitantly, not really wanting to throw that rule book out immediately. But obviously, when he does, it's working because Bobby Eaton's telling him what to do, and it does work. Regardless of the fact that it's against the rules, it's working.
Exactly, but Dylan Eaton, like I told you earlier, grew up in this business. Not only is his father beautiful Bobby Eaton, but his grandfather, Superstar Bill Dundee. You got to take that into consideration from both sides of the tree. This kid has been surrounded by wrestling all his life.
Not only that, he's got an uncle who is JC Ice, Jamie Dundee. I mean, hey.
Wrestling family. This kid's no slouch. He's been in there with some big names. He's been in there with Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll Express. He's been in there with Robert Gibson. This kid, he soaks up so much knowledge when he's around people. Like a high vertical suplex right there by Dylan Eaton.
Evidently, Donnie Birchfield has fielded some sort of phone call, being the head man in charge, always taking care of maybe contracts for next month or whatever. But in the meantime, Bobby Eaton just really doing a number on Kid Chaos.
Referee Red Dog asking if they made the tag. These people saying no, but Bobby Eaton said they made the tag. Dylan Eaton said they made the tag. They just made the tag again.
All right, Kid Chaos going to go right into that turnbuckle. All right, Dylan Eaton missing a charge. And as he missed that charge, he ricocheted. Both guys are down. Both guys need a tag. I don't know how this will turn out. All right, Rumble tags. Bobby Eaton tries to come in. I don't know which Eaton is legal. But we got all 4 men.
Oh, Hades is broken loose here. All 4 men in the ring. Red Dog trying to get some semblance of order here.
Yeah, it looks like everything is really broken down. Kid Chaos being ordered to get out of his way. And Rex Rumble going up. And he missed. He missed.
Oh, and did he ever? Did he ever miss?
This Bobby Eaton got. He had something. I'm not sure what. But he had some sort of object. We got new champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the match at blue. Tag team champion, Bobby and Dylan Eaton.
Bobby and Dylan Eaton get the tag team titles. The Eatons are the new tag team champions. Bobby and Dylan Eaton, father and son, new tag champs. And upcoming next, we got a big one, Brad Thomas and Sonny Landale.
For the heavyweight title, don't you dare go away. We got new tag team champions, beautiful Bobby Eaton and dangerous Dylan Eaton.
Father and son on a winning track. All right, fans, this is the one for the heavyweight championship. Sonny Landale, the current reigning heavyweight champion from Birchfield Promotions. Landale to defend the title against Brad Thomas, who last month won the Battle Royal to win this match, to earn this match, I should say. And I'll tell you what, it looks like Landale's having all kinds of problems. I'll tell you what, fans, I do want to bring in the former heavyweight champion. And I can't help but notice he's out here trying to look discreet. And, dog, you can't just look discreet. I mean, it's obvious that you got your sights set on Sonny Landale. Obviously, you got your sights set on Boomer Payne. But you got to be watching this because you know somewhere down the road it's going to be you and Sonny Landale again.
Yes, Danny, it's going to be somewhere down the line that I'm going to have to face Sonny. But right now, my first priority is to get rid of Boomer Payne. Once I get rid of Boomer Payne, Sonny Landale, I'm coming for you. I'm coming to get my belt back.
Well, Dion, let's talk a little bit. And fans, of course, if you don't recognize that voice is none other than the voice of the JYD Jr., the man who was inspired by the late, great Junkyard Dog, and that's Dion Johnson. And Dion, what's your thoughts on Brad Thomas? He come out of nowhere to win that Battle Royal last month.
Hey, they're Brad Thomas. He's an excellent guy. He's an excellent wrestler. And I think he's going to take Sonny Landale to the limit. And he just may well come away with that world title tonight. And it just not may be Sonny Landale. It might be Brad Thomas may be facing somewhere down the line, you know?
Well, yeah, but I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup because I know that Brad's a tremendous athlete. And I know for a fact that, Dion, we see you do a lot of variety of moves too. The moonsault, the headbutt, the power slam, all kind of stuff. I think that match right there would be it would be a very good technical match.
Like I said, Danny, Brad Thomas he's got great agility. He's all over the ring, and he was trained by Ricky Morton, which one of the greats in the business. And I think he's really going to go places here in BPW.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, let's talk about the odds. The odds are, pretty in the favor of Sonny Landale, but let's go on record and say that Brad, I can't think of the name of the promotion, unfortunately, but in Knoxville, he held the a version of the light heavyweight title. So Brad Thomas has tasted championship gold before.
I tell you, he's giving away a few pounds to Sonny Landale, but he makes that up in his heart. He's got much heart, and I think he's got the agility and the mind of this wrestling business. He took to the business very well, and he's great with the fans. He's got an excellent body. Sonny Landale, he's just a marked man right now in this federation.
Dion, I got to pose a question for you. We know that McCone was out here with Boomer Payne earlier. We know that McCone has been involved with Sonny in matches with you and things of that nature in the past. Can you keep your cool if you see James McCone start to interfere?
I tell you something, Danny. James McCone's been a thorn in my side for many, many, many years. And now he's got Boomer Payne and Sonny Landale under his tutelage. And it's kind of hard going in there 3 against 1. But I always got to keep an eye out for James McCone because he's one sneaky devil.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I hope you can keep your composure during this matchup. But on the other hand, you got to realize if you take out McCone tonight, you ain't got to worry about him next month.
I tell you what, that's one reason why I'm out here watching this match. I've kind of got Brad Thomas's back here watching James McCone because in a match earlier, he was all involved in my match. He caused me to lose a match tonight. But I tell you what, come hell or high water, Danny Paris, I will not let them do this to Brad Thomas tonight.
All right, fair enough indeed. All right, Brad Thomas having Sonny Landale in some trouble here. And Brad Thomas with a leg drop. Landale on the defensive. Brad Thomas going to work that arm over. Brad Thomas, if he puts his game up, could wind up walking out with the Birchfield Championship Wrestling Heavyweight title. That is quite possible. All right, Landale just paintbrushed him right across the face. Kind of a humiliating type slap. Right now it seems like he's toying with Brad Thomas. You can't play with this guy because he's a tough guy. Brad Thomas with a suplex. Count of 2, and there's McCone. McCone interferes. McCone interferes. Wait a minute, Red Dog is telling McCone. He's gone. Sonny Landale's not paying attention. Flying body press. Count of 2. All right, Dion, right there we saw McCone interfered. He got caught. He got sent to the back.
I tell you what, I don't have to do anything now that McComb's on the referee saw him. He ejected him back to the dressing room. And Brad Thomas, I think he's going to pull it off tonight, Danny.
Well, he could, but I'll tell you what. But where's Boomer Payne? Is he in the shadows? McCone, he could come back out that curtain any minute. I mean, there's no telling. He got sent to the back. I'm surprised he even complied. But if he didn't agree to it, he probably would have got Sonny Landale disqualified.
I tell you what, it's a good thing that the referee has his eyes on James McCombs. But yeah, you mentioned one thing about Boomer Payne. He's still here somewhere in the building, and he just might come out. So Brad Thomas better have his eyes on Boomer Payne.
Well, that's the bad part. Boomer Payne's still in the building, but where?
Who knows? I haven't seen him. I thought, there he is, right?
Well, that explains that. I guess we don't have to speculate where. Now we know where. All right, Landale starting to choke on Brad Thomas. Now, Dion, I know it's going to be extremely hard for you to keep your composure. Take a look, Boomer interfering.
I'm going to try to stay out of Brad's business. I'm going to try to stay out of his match. But when I think he needs my help, I'll go to him, brother.
All right, it's temptation. Brad Thomas landed on the back of his head. Landale about to stomp Brad Thomas. Landale about to stomp Brad Thomas, and he just kicked him, stomped on him. I tell you what, I'm beginning to wonder, was that kick low?
I think it was, Danny. Oh, watch out now. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. He's still got it. He's still got it, Danny. I'm telling you, this Brad Thomas, he's an excellent wrestler.
Boy, he hit him with a Hurricane Rana run out of that corner, and great job of improvising. Kick from Brad Thomas. Brad Thomas to the second rope. See what he can do. Setting him up maybe for a DDT. He got him. He got him.
It looks like it's all over, Danny. All he's got to do is cover him. Hook the leg. Oh, you see what I mean?
There's Boomer Payne.
See what I mean?
Boomer Payne interfering.
Oh, watch. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
He hit the rail.
That's nasty.
That backfired. That backfired. Wait a minute, Deion Johnson's left the broadcast booth. Deion Johnson's left the broadcast booth. He's got Boomer. And he took it way back in the locker room. Deion Johnson went down the ringside. Man, I tell you what, he jumped right on Boomer Payne and he fought him and he threw him right back in the locker room. Deion Johnson cheering on Brad Thomas. Brad Thomas and Landale slugging it out on the floor, slugging it out right here in front of the fans. Brad's going to be thrown right back in there. Brad just got thrown back in the ring, and it looks like, you know, Deion Johnson got rid of Boomer Payne. All right, Sonny Landale starting to choke on to Brad Thomas. Sonny Landale telling the referee, I wasn't choking. No, it was obvious he was. Michinoku driver. We see Landale win a lot of matches with that move. All right, Brad Thomas and Sonny Landale exchanging blows. Brad Thomas, Sonny Landale going at it. Brad splits, does a little dance. He just nailed Sonny Landale. Only 1 second away. He got a near fall. Brad Thomas was close. Brad Thomas really taking the measure to Sonny Landale. Landale reversing. Landale missing a wild lariat, I should say, after an Irish whip. Brad Thomas with a near fall. What have we got here? It looked like a low blow from Landale. He dropped Brad Thomas on his head. Brad Thomas dodges it. Red Dog and Landale having words. Brad Thomas going to the top as he's going to the top turnbuckle. Drop kick. Two and 3/4. Just about got him. He was so close. Brad Thomas, Sonny Landell still going at it. Landell picks him up. Dropped him in a stunner type move. Got his feet on the ropes. That'll do it. That'll do it.
And still, World Heavyweight Champion, the Ohio,
Sonny Landell retains the title. And here's Boomer Payne running out, fans. Boomer Payne running out.